You know, I see all the Christmas stuff out. All the Christmas decorations are on sale. Everyone's talking about decorating their house, getting a Christmas tree and all of that. But fall is not over. Alright, I'm American and we have Thanksgiving tomorrow, and today I'm doing a dinner for Brumalia. So I'm still in a fall mood, at least for the next 2 days. So I want to finish up some fall reading within the next 2 days before Christmas starts. Because the day after Thanksgiving, we're going to get our Christmas tree. And I did already start changing the decor over in the house. So I'm going to wrap up the fall-autumn season with a little bit of reading. I'm going to try and finish a couple of romance books. This is my cat who wants attention. So I have a couple books that I want to get through. I have like 3 planned, so we'll see if I can get through all of them. I'm going to start with Autumn in Scotland, which is a historical Highlander romance. And yeah, I'll be back when I have an update on this. I'm on page 74, and I don't know what I just read, but alright, so this man comes back and they mistake him for her husband who abandoned her for like 5 years, and she's been restoring the castle in Scotland. But this man is actually her husband's cousin, but they all think it's the husband, so they're going with that. He hasn't cracked them yet. I just got to the point where the women are giving her advice on how to perform wifely duties. And I don't know what I just read. They're telling her she's got to, you know, like, what am I reading here? Like, what is this? What is this? What is this? But yeah, that one's somewhere I didn't really think it would go, which I shouldn't be surprised because it's romance. But so maybe I just like tamer historical romances. But I felt like that came out of nowhere, to be honest. All the older ladies are like, you know, you should go lay in bed with your husband. You're not going to be young forever. It's already been 5 years, you know, get to it. He's so good looking. And it's like, he abandoned her for 5 years. I understand her feelings. Of course, it's not the same guy. It's not actually her husband, but she doesn't realize that yet. So we'll see how it goes. But I don't know why that caught me off guard. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when they finally do get together and make some love. So, yeah. So I got to page 100 in Autumn in Scotland, and I'm going to take a little break there. There's just under 400 pages in that book, so like I'm a quarter of the way through. I'm going to take a little break so I can work on a painting. I want to sketch it out on the canvas now, and then I'll probably get back to more reading. Eventually I'm going to have to go to the store later this evening, get food, and find like a lamb recipe for tonight. Let me take a little quick break, and then I'll get back to reading, and then I'll be back with a better update because nothing else really much happened. There's just some banter. And she still thinks that's her husband and he's rolling with it. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, this is the canvas sketch I started for one of the paintings I'm working on this season. I might need to edit a little bit more, to be honest. It's just a quick sketch. I'm on page 236. They made love, but he still has not revealed who he really is. She suspects he's not her husband, George, but I think her name's Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't know he's Dixon. He hasn't revealed it yet, but, you know, they had a passionate night together, and they're falling for each other. But I'm not sure how I feel about that because it's still deceptive. Like, she's going into this thinking that's her husband, he's come back, and maybe he's changed. But she's still suspicious that might not be him, but it's not confirmed, so he's kind of taking advantage of that. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but, we'll see. He's also looking for some kind of treasure. It's supposed to be a lot of secret money that the family hid away somewhere, and there's a riddle to solve. And watch the end be like the treasure's family or something like that. Either that or the husband got the treasure for, I don't know. I don't really care too much for that aspect, but I guess you kind of need it in there to give a little more substance to the story. And once she finds out what he's looking for and who he really is, I'm not sure she's going to be happy, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm almost done. There's like just under 400 pages, so I'm more than halfway through now, so we'll see how it ends and see what I think at the end. I finished reading Autumn in Scotland last night. There's some things I liked and some things I didn't care too much about. There was a society of ladies who got together and talked about seduction techniques and how they handle their husbands. there's no point to that except to get a little, you know, raunchy. Because I didn't really care much for that. I like the little side life story with the Malaysian Chinese. Well, he was a pastor, but he's also like a Buddhist. So he was Dixon's friend. He called Dixon master, but it wasn't that type of a thing. They were more like friends. But the Malay Chinese guy was with him when Dixon was in Malaysia. So they have like a friendship loyalty thing. And then, so all throughout the book I was waiting for the husband to return, the actual real husband, and that never happened. And then I found out what happened to the husband, and I'm like, I expected something more dramatic, but alright, I didn't really care about him, so I didn't really care that much. But at the same time, I thought I expected something more dramatic because that was the big drama why they couldn't be together. So that's resolved, and then she's like, but you lied to me, and then he leaves. But he comes back, she's like, oh, I missed you. I didn't want you to leave. And then they get together and they get married. So, and I mean, I don't mind Dixon. He came back and he did like the right thing, taking over the manor. I like the female lead, Charlotte. She basically said, all right, I'm in this horrible situation. My husband abandoned me, but I'm going to go take the property and I'm going to turn it into a girls' school. So I was 100% there for that. Overall, I mean, it was enjoyable, but like it didn't wow me in any ways. So it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Yesterday we celebrated Brumalia. So happy Brumalia. And I'm going to see if I can do a little more reading today. I might extend this into the next day. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. For all my Americans, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving yesterday. So for reading, I did start my next 2 books yesterday. And I got a little bit of reading in, but being that we were with like family the whole time, I didn't really get much done. I did start reading the 2 books on my TBR. And I'm gonna extend this to a 3rd day just so I can try and finish reading them. So I started reading A Thanksgiving in Hollybrook, which is an Amish romance. And I also started reading this collection, these 2 stories from the love-inspired historical line, The Wedding Journey and A Mistaken Bride. So this one might not be very like Thanksgiving-y or autumn-y, but I don't know, this ship made me think of like the Pilgrims or something. So we're going with it. I want to get done anyways, so I'm going to try and read those 2 books today, see if that goes well. Not sure if we're getting a Christmas tree today or not, but that's the plan so far, and I'll update you guys with how it goes.
Hollywood mogul accused of widespread sexual impropriety.
Thanksgiving is over. Turkey has been eaten. The candles from Brumalia have been lit, and lamb was eaten, and books have been read. So just to wrap up this short little reading vlog I did at the end of November, we're going to talk about the books that I read. The first book is Autumn in Scotland. So the overall theme was Thanksgiving or autumn kind of inspired books, which obviously Autumn in Scotland fits it. I didn't really feel like this was very autumn-y, I guess. That wasn't really a big focus on the story. I guess it just took place in autumn. But let's see. So this story is about our main character. Her name is Charlotte. She gets married to George, who's an earl of a Scottish castle in Scottish lands. He takes off like right after their wedding. He disappears for years. She decides she's going to stay in the castle, fix it up, and make something out of it. She turns it into a school for young girls. And then all of a sudden, her husband shows up. It's not her husband though. He is actually Dixon, the cousin of George, and he gets mistaken for her husband. So of course, he just goes along with it, and she doesn't remember her husband. He looks close enough, so she goes along with it, but there's attraction between them. So she and him are pursuing a relationship now. They kind of fall for each other, but she thinks she's rekindling something with her actual husband. Now, overall, I like the story, but I had a couple issues with it. One is the fact that Dixon does not reveal, and this is the biggest one, Dixon does not reveal who he truly is before they make love. So they're intimate, and she thinks it's her husband. She only knew him for like, a week, but he was flirting with the maids and everything, so really, come on now. So she thinks it's her husband. He doesn't explain anything to her. They make love. That's that. Eventually, you know, they get together because that's the main love story. But I thought he should have revealed himself first, all right? Like, come on, don't lie to a woman like that. You claim you like her, you love her, you're falling for her. Like, don't lie like that. Don't start a relationship off on a lie. So that was my main issue with the book. I also did not like how they resolved the issue with the actual husband. I mean, I didn't really care overall, but like, I didn't really care for how they resolved it either. I just noticed there's like glitter in my hair or something. Thank you, Christmas. Thank you. And then there was this ladies' society where they're like a ladies group, and they talk about how they please their men sexually. That was the whole purpose of the ladies group. And they wanted to bring Charlotte into it, and they were like, oh, your husband's so hot. And I'm like, what's the point of this? Because I guess it was trying to introduce like a sexy, kinky, funny kind of element to it, because they were talking about, like, one woman talked about how she would pretend to be a lady of the streets or of the docks, and her husband would pay her, and she would keep the money, which is funny. Kinky role play. It didn't really serve a purpose because there was no kinky sex between Charlotte and Dixon, nor did I want there really to be. I didn't care. And the ladies kind of just show up randomly and then disappear and no one cares. But overall, I mean, it was like an average book for me. It wasn't that bad. I did like the female character. I thought she was a strong female character. I would read something else by the author, but this was kind of just average to me. The next book I have is The Wedding Journey and A Mistaken Bride, which is part of Harlan Quinn's love-inspired historical line, which I'm still sad that they discontinued that line and there's going to be no more books. So this is a clean Christian-based romance, faith-based, Christian-based. Follows 3 Irish sisters who leave Ireland for America because of the famine happening there. Their father passes away. They decide to try their luck in America. So there's 2 stories in this book, and they follow 2 of the 3 sisters. I don't know why there's no story for the 3rd sister. I don't even know if it was ever written, but you know, that's fine. So the first story follows Maeve, who falls in love with the ship's doctor. His wife and his child passed away, so he's not open to love at all. He's focused solely on medicine and finding a cure for the disease that killed his family. But through Maeve and God, they end up falling in love and coming together. The thing I really liked about that story, as well as the second story, is that it's not like quick instant love. It's a slow romance. It's like both men in the stories had to come to terms with their wives passing away. Because the second story follows Bridget and Will. Will's wife passed away and left him to care for their twins. And he's looking for a wife. He mistakes Bridget for his mail order bride, but she isn't, but they fall for each other anyways. What I really enjoyed was that, you know, it's a slow romance because these men lost women they cared about. You know, you can't just instantly fall in love after that, you know? It's heartbreaking. So I thought they was very well done. Clean, faith-based romances. I really enjoyed them. It's not really Thanksgiving-y at all. The ship kind of made me think of the Pilgrims, which is why I decided to read it for this little reading vlog. But it's not really an autumn-based or Thanksgiving-based kind of story. Neither one is. Regardless, though, I did really enjoy both stories in here, and I do love the love-inspired historical line. I'm sad it's not there anymore. Like, they got rid of it. Why? And the 3rd book I read was one on the Kindle. It's an Amish romance. Generally, Amish romances tend to be faith-based, although this one, I mean, by nature, just by being Amish, it is, but it also really wasn't a big focus. But the book is called Thanksgiving in Hollybrook, so it's a Thanksgiving Amish romance. It follows Leora, who is working at an Englishman's diner as an accountant after her husband passed away and left her in debt. So the Englisher has feelings for her, but there's an Amish man, Noah, who also has feelings for her. And this book also has a little bit of suspense element to it because there's someone going around lighting fires and setting Amish barns on fire. So there's a little bit of suspense mystery of who's behind that. So Noah gives her rides back and forth from work and feelings start to develop between the two. And then when all the fires start happening and she suspects that someone's creeping around her property, she kind of gets closer to Noah. And then there's the ending where they have a Thanksgiving dinner with some friends and each other. And they just, you know, they get together because it's a romance. That's what's going to happen. I thought it was very sweet, very Thanksgiving-y. It was definitely something I was in the mood for. I mean, there's not too much more to say to that. It's exactly what I was expecting. A clean Amish romance. Nothing problematic about the book. It's a simple holiday Thanksgiving romance, which I really enjoyed. So it's exactly what I expected, what I wanted, and I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. So that pretty much wraps it up. I got 3 books I read over the course of 3 days. I was going to read over the course of Thanksgiving Day and the day prior to Thanksgiving, but that didn't really work out. So I didn't get it finished by Thanksgiving, so I extended a day and just relaxed at home. Because because we're supposed to get a Christmas tree after Thanksgiving, but there's no room to really put one in our current living situation. So I ended up getting a deal on a Christmas tree from Target. We're gonna put up a fake one this year and maybe get a real one next year if we can. Instead of going to get a Christmas tree, I just read more Thanksgiving-y kind of books. But now Thanksgiving is definitely over. It's snowed out. It's definitely winter. I am decorating for winter. I should be done with that soon, hopefully today. And I'm ready to move on. That was a great way to close November out and to close out the Thanksgiving holiday and to close out autumn. And I'm now looking forward to Christmas and the holiday reads I had planned. So yeah, so thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed this little vlog of mine.